Okay, I wanted to talk to you all today about something that's really been driving me crazy. I don't normally talk about things that are political in nature, but you can pretty much figure out what my political leanings on by watching my older videos. I'm so disturbed by what's happening that I have to say something, because I'm wondering if y'all see this or not. Have you noticed that in the United States right now that the president is just being a dictator? That he's ordering people to do things that are immoral and basically illegal, just by edict. He's now the emperor without retribution. There's nobody standing up against him. And have you noticed that the things that he's doing are immoral? Regardless of what your religious background is. Societies are based in morals. They must be, or else there's no need for society. Really, there isn't. I mean, we could get streets and bridges from somewhere else, but in either case, to go and say that people who identify a certain direction, or I hate that term, identify. That's a PC thing. People who think that they're a man, they're in a woman's body, or a woman in a man's body, or whatever the whole thing is mental illness. It's what it is. I watched a news report where they showed this guy out there, or a woman, or a thing, whatever, person, and they had the blonde and the pink and the hair and the piercings and the tattoos, and not that all people that are like that look like that, but I'm going to tell y'all, here's the fact. Those people are confused. It's not something that society's done wrong by not recognizing their right to be a man in a woman's body, or a woman in a man's body, or whatever. There's no such thing. God creates people the way they are, and we're called to deal with it. If you don't believe in God, then you better stop this video right now, because the fact is this fact. You can say I'm a woman in a man's body, but what are your chromosomes? You can lop off your physical attributes to obtain some idea of what you think is a masculinity or a femininity, as it may be expressed, but in either case, that doesn't make you that sex. You are what God made you. We're called to accept that. If you don't like that, it's perfectly, I won't say it's understandable, and I won't even say it's reasonable, but you are called to deal with it. Not to make other people change the way they do things to match your mentality or your illness. Homosexuality, I think it's an illness, plain and simple. They're confused. I think the people that are quote-unquote transsexual, I hate that word because it's a PC term that was created to be able to control the thought. Those people are confused. I'm not confused. I know when I see somebody they're a male or a female, even though they've had their little changes. Bruce Jenner still looks like a man to me in a dress. I'm sorry. Dress him up, put makeup on a pig, is still a pig. So that's the first thing. That whole stupidity with that. The government's doing things to y'all that y'all aren't fighting up against. I would have thought there'd been some mayhem, some killing, some revolution going on up there. But no, it doesn't appear that's the direction. So, and that's fine. You get the government you deserve, just like they did with Pol Pot, and they did with Stalin, and they did with Hitler, and all those good people. They were just misunderstood. Yeah. You guys don't I guess understand what Obama's about and what the Congress is about. The Congress is no longer in there to stand up for the people. They're in there to get elected and take money from you. Plain and simple. Doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat or Independent or Socialist or whatever. They're all the same thing. Same damn thing. Hillary's a Republican, a Democrat, a Communist. Doesn't matter. She's Hillary. Hillary's going to do whatever Hillary needs to do for Hillary, and so is Donald Trump. So, you got a government that's taking your freedoms away. Not gonna take your freedom. It has taken your freedoms away. It's ordering you to, and let your children, or forcing your children to use the same bathroom as people that are sexually confused, morally confused, at best, and mentally ill. We're no longer, or you're no longer being asked to be tolerant of homosexuality. You're now asked to participate. There's no way around it. You're being asked to participate in that homosexual acceptance. You might as well be gay. And it's really pretty sick. And those people are confused. You know, I feel for people that are called for this, that are called to fight and stand up for this and to face that part of their life, but they're confused. Plain and simple. And it's up to society to help people sort out what they're confused about. Society sets norms. Norms are not men using women's rooms. Norms are not high school 14-year-olds in the locker room with boys with girls in the shower. That's not a norm. Nowhere in history has it been that way. Say Jim Dorchak is wrong. I'm Jim Dorchak. That's fine. You can say I'm wrong all day long. But for 2,000 years, people have thought the way I have. How many years have people thought that this transsexual, identify, all that is stupid? It's mental illness. I don't support it. I don't mention it. I don't use those PC terms. I think political correctness is a diabolical idea personally. It's a way to twist your way of saying things, which twists the way you think of things. I ain't gonna do it. So, well, there you have it. You got a government that's stealing from you, lying and cheating from you, and killing your people, basically. The United States is sick. It's dying. The economy is going to collapse. There's no way around it right now. I mean, Obama's been kind of fake hiding stuff. Too many people with their hands in the till. So, what do? Do you stay there? You stay there and let the government tell you can't carry a flag? Your kids can't bring the flag to high school, the same flag that your father or grandfather died for in World War II? Does your daughter have to share a bathroom now with people that are confused about their sexuality? What do? You stay there? Can you win? I don't think that's a battle you can win. I really don't. There's a quote that I read on Ann Barnhart's webpage, excellent quote. It says, when you go to war, a soldier goes to war, he doesn't go to fight for what's in anger and hate for what's in front of him. He goes to kill because of what he loves behind him. Well, she said it. She said, I don't love what's behind me anymore. I don't love this sharing restrooms thing with confused people. I don't do the homosexuality thing. I don't want to pay for abortions. I don't want to pay for the government stealing and this corruption. And I didn't sign up to be a servant to the Emperor Obama. So what do? Have you guys really thought about it? Are you willing to admit to yourself that it's got to that point? I gotta wonder. Is it really worth your soul, your family's souls? As dads, I'm a dad. You're responsible for your kids' souls. You really are until they're adults. It's really scary because the thought of going to hell is not a good thought, but not only you're responsible for your soul, you're responsible for your kid's soul, because you're supposed to raise them right. And are you really willing to sacrifice all that for some misguided patriotism at this point? Because there's nobody there in charge that cares about your patriotism anymore. It really isn't. It's very scary. They care about your money. They care about they care about stealing from you. They care about lying to you. And they care about power. They care about themselves. This is what I care about. Quiet road in the middle of the country. Nobody messing with me here. Nobody gives a rip. They just live peacefully and they live calmly, and they're not forced to do something somebody else is making them do. I'm not saying to you that Chile's the right place for you, or anybody. Probably isn't. And if you think that this stuff is okay in the United States that's going on, please don't come here. Just keep it there in the U.S. But I have concern for my adult children there, and I have concern for my friends there. And if you guys don't see it, then you're kind of like a fish in a bowl. And I felt morally obligated to say something to you. Now, final thing. Most of my friends, all of my family for the most part, thought I was crazy to leave the United States because we'll never get to the point where the government tells you men have to use. Yeah. We'll never get to the point where whatever you want to read in the newspapers happening today. The crime, the injustice, stupidity. Well, guess what? You're there, and I was right. So, it's not something you can beat. If you're staying there in the United States and you have a big house and land and whatever, sell it now, get the hell out, before there's nothing to get out, before it's burned down. Before the government takes it from you and gives it to somebody more deserving, like happened here in 1970 before they had the coup. They stopped that crap. The United States, they don't have the guts to do it. Just don't. You can't live out in the country in the middle of nowhere, Montana or Arizona or Kansas or Minnesota or Maine, and get away from it. It's not possible. So, hey, I just want to let you know what I was seeing from the outside. I don't know if you guys get to think about these things, or whether you sit at home with your wife and or your husband and discuss these things at night after the long busy day. But anyhow, ciao from Chile Expat family.